everything. Give me everything. No, y'all, I'm just playing. Y'all, it's me. It's me, y'all. I was just playing.
Of a Louisville father, 17-year-old Sadell Richardson Jr., 14-year-old Clifton Jones Jr., and 14-year-old Deshaun Garrison were in court this afternoon.
A man admits to his role in a deadly drive-by shooting. Clifton Jones Jr. pleaded guilty today to manslaughter and several other charges. He was 14 when Tyrese Garvin was shot in June of 2019 as he was leaving the hospital after visiting his newborn twin.
You know, it's getting to the point where nowadays you gotta watch the people you living with. Jealousy, manipulation, whatever you want to call it. It all leads to the same thing. Betrayal, backdoor. And the crazy part, it don't always come from your enemy. Sometimes it's the people you cook for, the people you laugh with, the ones that say, I got you. But deep down, they plotting on you. At that point, you're not just sharing a home. You putting your life in the hands of somebody you once trusted. Maybe that's how it used to be. But fam, we 2 months away from 2026. Ain't no way we still living like that. Now this story right here been brewing for a while, almost 2 weeks. 2 men, both young, full of life, gunned down inside their home. At first, nobody could understand what happened.
What?
No forced entry, no break-in, just 2 men in cold blood.
Oh, that's definitely a backdoor.
Police made an arrest, and it wasn't some random stranger or a rival. It was the woman they lived with. A young woman, somebody they trusted. Turns out, she allegedly backdoored them. As far as the motive, maybe we find out, maybe we don't. But at the end of the day, it don't matter. Because whatever it wasn't worth their lives. You're talking about a teenager and a man barely in his 20s. 2 young men who didn't even get a chance to see life for what it could have been. But here's where it get even crazier. This woman, she might have not acted alone. Well, at least according to authorities. Reports say she didn't even pull a trigger. She could have been taking orders from a man who'd been behind bars for almost a decade. Think about it. The last time he was free, she was still in her early teens. Yet somehow, he still had pull on the outside. And at this point...
Oh, yeah, she telling on everybody. Bro, that's why you can't put no female in no crime that you committing, because she gonna tell on you. Y'all see what's going on with that Fulio murder. She telling. Hey, if you gonna do a murder, and don't put your girlfriend in it, leave her out of this, because she ain't gonna do no time for you. Females can't take that hard time. They crying and let they break it down soon they hit the interrogation room, man.
You might ask, how we know all this? Well, you'll later find out on the story. Police got jail calls, a key witness, and investigators just connecting the dots. She recently went to court, which we'll later check out. Meanwhile, you got the 2 people who allegedly pulled the trigger, still on the run, not even identified to the public. We're gonna break this story all the way down. We're gonna pay our respects to the victims, reveal who her boyfriend is, why he currently locked up for manslaughter, and how all this connects. Because when loyalty turns to envy, it's never the enemy you gotta worry about. It's the one sleeping right next to you. But before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I won't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll jump right to it. Now when you hear the name Okolona, some might think we talking about a small country town in Mississippi. But this one right here, this Okolona, Kentucky, a neighborhood tucked in the south side of Louisville, where hard-working families, single mothers, and young people all trying to make it through the same daily grind. It's a place that changed over the years. Used to be a farmland back in the day, but now it's filled with apartments, schools, and longtime residents who've been there for generations. You got Jefferson Mall right up the street, Southern High School down the road, and everybody knows somebody that grew up around the outer loop. But like everywhere else in America, peace don't always last forever, because truth be told, Okolona done had its share of pain too. Shootings, jealousy, domestic situations, and what police call crimes of opportunity. So when 2 men were found murdered inside their own home in Napa Valley Lane, it sent shocks through the whole south side, because that kind of pain don't come from outsiders. It come from within. On October 22nd, around 4 a.m., Louisville Metro Police responded to a call of a shooting on Napa Valley Lane, right in the heart of Okolona. When they got there, officers found 2 men dead inside, Kavion Faulkner and Marion Caldwell, 18 and 22. As mentioned at the very beginning, no forced entry.
So they was both dead in the house? Oh, no.
No robbery. Detectives immediately knew this wasn't random. Whoever did it was already inside, or at least involved. For almost a week, police stayed quiet while gathering evidence.
My name is, for the record, John Bradley, John Bradley. I'm the Public Information Officer for Louisville Metro Police Department. This morning about 10:15, the 7th Division responded here to the 9,000 block of Napa Valley Court on reports of shots fired. Once the officers arrived, witnesses directed them to an apartment here in the complex. stating that they had heard a number of shots fired inside. Officers did make entry and found inside two deceased males with multiple gunshot wounds. After this, some witnesses said they saw multiple suspects leaving this area on foot, and the LMPD homicide unit has responded and is investigating right now. I'll take whatever questions you have, though I'm limited in what I can tell you.
Do you know how low the suspects are?
I'm sorry, two questions at once.
I can't hear.
No,
Do you
it's
know
fine,
how low
Richard.
the victims are?
We don't know yet. I mean, part of the investigation will be ascertaining their positive identification and their age. I will tell you that they are young people, but that does not necessarily indicate that they are juvenile.
Were they like high school age, 20s?
It's difficult to say. I would say that they are, if they're juveniles, they're very late teens.
Sir, did you say they were found dead on scene?
That's correct, yes.
What did the suspects have on?
Part of the investigation will be determining, who the suspects are and maybe what they were wearing. We're very hesitant to give out clothing descriptions of people because we don't know who is involved and who did what at this point. So we want to be careful at that point.
So there were multiple suspects. Do you know how many?
Well, witness information has told us that they saw multiple people leaving the scene. Now, what their involvement was in this crime, we don't know yet. I mean, we'll determine that through our investigation.
Multiple family members are on scene right now, devastated. What's your message to the people who know something for these family members?
Well, anybody who knows anything about this horrific act needs to come forward, and they need to share what they know with investigators. They can do that by calling their division. They can call 911 if they need to, but the best way is to call 574-LMPD. It is an anonymous tip line. Any information that you provide, we will keep your identity anonymous.
Have you been called down here in the past for any kind of disturbance in this particular area?
Richard, I really don't know. That's something that I'd have to look into outside of being on the scene here. I really don't know.
When you see relatives like that huddled, in absolute grief,
Yes.
I know it has to affect you on a personal level. But
Sure.
How does this affect this neighborhood, this community?
No, well, it tears it apart, right? It's a tragedy. I mean, and as a parent and as a human being, I mean, I can't imagine the horrific sense of grief and loss that somebody's going through learning that this happened. This is, a tragedy for this neighborhood, absolutely.
And do they know the connection between the two victims?
And not at this point, we don't. We'll release all that, I think, in the days and weeks that come forward as the investigation continues.
Do they think? Sorry, go ahead.
That's
so
okay.
police still hasn't spoken to the suspects. Is that correct?
Well,
Or is that
where we're at in the investigation is right now we're processing the scene, collecting evidence, canvassing the neighborhood, and talking to witnesses. Where we are on anybody who's a potential suspect, we're going to let that play out and see what information we can gather first before we're willing to say.
Do they think it's a robbery? Do they think that it was just crime of passion? What do they think?
Sure, establishing that motive will be a part of what the investigators ultimately try to get to. We have not gotten to the point where we're ready to say exactly what happened or why this happened yet. It is, yes. The LMPD homicide unit is here on scene. I'm sure you've all seen them here. And they'll be here continuing to process the scene and interview people.
Any other agencies responding?
Not that I'm aware of or that I've been briefed on.
Is technology playing a role in this investigation?
Sure. Well, anytime there's an incident of this nature, of course, one of the parts of canvassing a neighborhood is looking for surveillance video and things like that. So in that sense, yeah, technology will come into play.
Do you know at this point if any potential suspects who fled the scene have been seen on surveillance video?
I don't know. I don't know if they have or not.
When you look down there, we've got officers over there.
Yes.
Decide which building was it in?
Well, I'll tell you, it's on your left side as you look down there.
So over there. Is it like a corner, ground floor apartment? Is that what we're looking at?
It'd be on that left side over there.
I think we're good. Are you guys good?
Then came October 29th, 2025. They finally made an arrest. That arrest shocked everybody because it wasn't a rival, wasn't an intruder. It was a 22-year-old woman identified as Jasmine Brown, a woman who was taking care of her friend's child during the time of the murder. Then detectives quickly...
Hey y'all, the magic number is 678. Remember that.
realized She lived with both victims inside that very same home and remembered that she came back on the scene the night of the murder and acted as if she was shocked. According to neighbors, they said they seemed close. People saw them hanging out, joking, going to stores together. From the outside, it looked like three friends just trying to make life work. Then the crazy part is that her boyfriend, the man Clifton Jones, he'd been incarcerated since 2019, but he was just 14 years old. He was one of three men who killed the man who was just 20 years old during a drive-by who just had twins. The crazy part is that Clifton was the one who cooperated. He ended up getting a lesser sentence of 8 years. On top of telling to the police, he was talking to his girlfriend, giving orders, making hits. A killer and an informant. Probably one of the worst type of individuals you could come across. And the crazy part is, just last month, the last suspect had finally got sentenced. More than 6 years had passed since Tyrese Garvin, a father to his newborn twins, were shot and killed on his way home from holding his babies. The three men charged.
What? What, you killed him after he came from the hospital with his kids? Then he was killed after holding his twins, bro. Oh, man. Yeah, the streets is dead. The streets are myth, y'all. Get out the streets.
Charging his murder was Sadell Richardson, Clifton Jones Jr., and Deshaun.
Dude looked like he got beat up. He got knuckle sandwich, Glock dookied, all type of stuff.
Garrison. They were all under the age of 18 but charged as adults.
19, Tyrese Garvin held his newborn twins for the first time at U of L Hospital. No one would predict that would also be the last time. This is Wave News at 11. I'm Logan Perrone. Jose is off tonight. The 20-year-old father was shot coming home from visiting his babies. He was rushed to the same hospital where he died days later. Tomorrow, Cedal Richardson Jr. is scheduled to be sentenced in the shooting. He's one of three men charged, all of them teenagers, when police say they took Garvin's life. The sentencing comes at the same time we've been reporting on an increase in violence involving teens. Community activists say the situations that happen like this will continue to happen without action and commitment. More than 6 years have passed since Tyrese Garvin, a father to newborn twins, was shot and killed on his way home from holding his babies. The three men charged with his murder, Sadell Richardson Jr., Clifton Jones Jr., and Deshaun Garrison, were all under the age of 18, but later charged as adults.
You go back to the kids. They're so angry and they just feel if you might be from this neighborhood, you might as well just do you like this.
That was Game Changers Executive Director Christopher 2X just days after Garvin was shot. He says the problems today have the same root cause.
Sometimes they don't understand the magnitude of the consequences behind it. And that is kind of across the board, from families becoming victims and survivors, and equally their own families who are suffering because of the act that they have been alleged to have committed.
In nearly 2.5 decades of advocacy, 2X has seen the youth violence improve at times and then worsen. Data from the Louisville Gun Violence Dashboard reports that in the last 3 months, 5 kids killed and another 15 injured in shootings. 2X believes intervening in the lives of kids early and educating them on the consequences of choosing violence can help turn those numbers around.
It's tough. It's a serious issue, and it's got to be constant advocacy against that kind of behavior to try to get to a better space one day.
Court documents say Richardson's sentencing is part of a plea deal with the state recommending 10 years in prison. As for the 2 other men charged, Jones Jr. took a plea deal in July and was sentenced to 8 years in prison for Garvin's murder. Garrison, his next court date for this case is scheduled for September.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, they caught. 10 years, 8 years, oh, they caught. Oh, they better be lucky. When they get out, they better not be doing no more crime. They better live a Christian life, a citizen life, or all that.
11th.
To the police, Jasmine told Clifton that one of the victims was talking about him. To what extent, we don't know. But as mentioned on the 29th at around 10:30 a.m., neighbors said they heard hella shots from inside the apartment. Then seen a bunch of people take off running, like they knew what they did. When police approached the home, they didn't realize they walked straight into a murder scene, seeing the 2 young brothers laid out, hit multiple times. May Kavion and Marion rest in peace, and love and condolences to their families.
Shooting. It happened at the Falcon Crest Apartments on Napa Valley Court. That's near Blue Lick Road. WLKY's DeAndrea Turner joins us live from that scene after talking to police and neighbors. DeAndrea?
Well, Jennifer, the scene looks completely different than it did hours ago. Earlier this afternoon, this scene was completely covered with crime scene tape. Investigators were here, and also heartbroken family members were on scene just trying to grapple with the fact that they lost a loved one. I heard one of the victim's mothers let out a gut-wrenching scream more than once as she's trying to come to terms with the fact that she's no longer going to see her son. And as they do that, police are still looking for the suspects.
This area has become horrible in the last 2 years.
2 lives lost, 2 families broken, a community shaken up.
It tears it apart, right? It's a tragedy.
2 young men are dead after a shooting at Falcon Crest Apartments in Okolona. Police say they were called to the 9,000 block of Napa Valley Court around 10:15 Monday morning, where they were found dead inside of an apartment. Neighbors like Christina Short are in disbelief.
Nothing suspicious, nothing like from that apartment specifically, nothing. Like, we don't know.
She used to live in Napa Valley Court. Her old neighbors called her after the violence unfolded.
They're scared to walk out of their apartment. They're scared for their family. They're scared for their kids. They're scared of what might come through their walls.
Police say multiple suspects took off after the shooting. She says mass groups roaming around the complex aren't unusual.
I've gotten, crowds of boys in masks. None of us can identify them. And we're all scared to even try, because what if they try to come to us and try to harm us for trying to protect our community?
The number of homicides are down this year compared to last, but residents here say the number doesn't matter when they don't feel safe.
It's not safe at all. Not safe for our kids. Louisville, I want out of Louisville. It's horrible. These children shouldn't be having to worry about if they're going to lose their life just living next door to somebody.
And again, if you have any information regarding this double homicide, you were asked to call the LMPD's anonymous tip line.
Now, after Jasmine had went to court 3 days ago for me making this video, one of the victim's grandmother had went to social media and said the following: "As I learned more about this case and why these sick MFers took our boys, the more enraged and heartbroken I become. They really had been plotting since September 13th. That's what we know of. We was family. I've never in my life felt this type of hate." And when it comes to Jasmine, as mentioned, she on a $1 million bond. Her boyfriend, he's still incarcerated from the 2015 conviction, but police did confirm they are investigating his possible role in orchestrating a double homicide from prison. The suspected shooters remain unidentified and has not been arrested. Louisville Metro Police Department say they still following leads based on witness interviews and phone evidence. And some say she'll be speaking soon. 2 young men gone, a young woman behind bars.
So he doing hits from jail
for nearly a decade, still managing to control lies from behind the wall.
Held in a court hearing today about the double shooting at an Okolona apartment.
WLKY's DeAndre Turner explains how officers connected Jasmine Brown to the case.
It's here at the 800 building in downtown where detectives say Jasmine Brown was helping her friend with her baby during the double murders that were taking place at her home in Okolona. They say while she did not pull the trigger, they believe she played a big role in setting up the murders.
She said that my house is getting ready to be on the news.
22-year-old Jasmine Brown was in court Thursday. She's accused of helping plan the murders of Marion Caldwell and Kavion Faulkner at her Falcon Crest apartment in Okolona. Homicide Detective Brad Russell testified witnesses tie Brown to the murders.
She saw 2 males that had ski mask on in a FaceTime call. And then at the end of the conversation, she heard Miss Brown say, "They're asleep, the door's unlocked, go ahead and go on in."
He also says,
so they killed them in their sleep? Oh yeah, she bogus. Lock her up. Give her life. Throw the key away. She bogus.
A series of jail phone calls also linked Brown to the case. Those calls are between Brown and her boyfriend, Clifton Jones, who's locked up on a manslaughter charge. In a call on September 13th,
she stated to Mr. Jones, Miss Brown did, she doesn't love them like that. She's not going to risk what she's getting ready to have done to them. And then stated, if I love them like that, I wouldn't be getting ready to backdoor them.
He says backdoor is street slang for setting someone up. They say in later calls, Brown told Jones that Caldwell had been talking badly about
audacity.
And by September 29th, the plan was carried out. Brown attorneys, however, argued she was manipulated.
You have no reason to believe that Jasmine Brown, at any point in time, had a gun in her hand and fired a gun, do you?
No.
You have no reason to believe that she was there when this occurred.
Correct.
And in fact, she was not even near the scene when this occurred.
Yes, I think it's fair to say yes.
She also argued to have Brown's bond reduced.
Judge, as a mother, all she wants to do is get home to her child.
But the judge kept bond at $1 million and sent Brown's case to the grand jury. DeAndrea Turner, WLKY.
Now, as mentioned, this case isn't over. Investigators say more arrests are coming. But one thing is certain, this wasn't just another Louisville shooting. It was betrayal at its deepest. But keep one thing in mind, fam. You ever notice how the devil don't show up wearing horns, right? Sometimes it look like love. This man thought that was his girl he was living with before she told her alleged real boyfriend how to backdoor him. Jasmine thought she was following loyalty. She ended up following orders. 2 men gone, a woman facing life, and a man behind bars still pulling strings. And at the end of it all, families destroyed forever. Rest in peace to Kevion Faulkner and Marion Caldwell once again. 11 prayers to the families.
Bro, that's crazy. Please, 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 y'all, we gotta stop this backdoor activity. Y'all, please, we gotta stop this. But that's crazy. She backdoored them while they talking about you can come in and they sleep? Oh, that's crazy. Y'all, let me know what y'all think about this video in the comments. Bro, do we need to stop the backdoor activity or what? Let me know. That's crazy, man. I'm so mad. I'm blue right now. I hate backdoor activity, man. Man. But y'all, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure you like the video. Subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be back with more. You know. I appreciate everybody that tuned in. I love all my supporters. I do this for y'all. But y'all, I'm out. It's your boy, Buick Vance. Peace.